Handheld fans are not as popular as they used to be in the past, edged out by electric fans and air conditioners. But the old-school summer implement has become a new art form. Before the arrival of electric fans and air conditioners, Korean parents use handheld fans to make a soft, cool breeze for their children on a sleepless, hot summer's night. This artistic fan depicts the parental love carried in the breeze. This black and white landscape painting on a fan was drawn with yarn and wire. A fan produced by Master Kim Dae-suk, who is an intangible cultural asset, is a reinterpretation of the traditional Korean landscape painting in the 21st century. Song Yeon-won, artist of Sound of Winds in August, says a space overlaps another space. An artwork produced under the theme of breeze represents the artist's wish that people will pay more attention to the traditional Korean paintings. Min Ji-hai, curator, Gong Art Space, says fans are reinterpreted in various ways, not only for their shapes, but also for their roles as a device to invoke people's memories and convey their hopes. Made with bamboo slats and thin paper, handheld fans produce a natural breeze. In the past, people showed their appreciation for art by drawing paintings and writing poems on fans. Those artistic fans used to be given as gifts to express one's affection and gratitude. Now, the old-fashioned summer implement have found a new place in modern art. There's a county in North Korea near its border with China named after Kim Jong-suk, Kim Il-sung's first wife and Kim Jong-il's mother. The regime turned it into a landmark in the early 1980s, commemorating Korea's independence movement. Here's a closer look at what is going on there. A train that departed from Pyongyang and traveled through the city of Manpo blows its horn loudly as it passes through Kim Jong-suk County. Passengers lean out of the window to peer into the Chinese side across the Yalu River. Lee Seong-yuk, director of Free North Korea Radio, says the passengers of the train live in North Korea and across the river is China. It's human nature for them to want to see how Chinese villages have changed. Kim Jong-suk County was originally named Sinpa County, but Kim Jong-il had renamed it after his mother in 1981. He had turned the region into a historic landmark, claiming that traces of his mother's struggle against Japanese occupiers still remain there. Hoisting a red flag, a group of people in military uniforms follow a guide clad in hanbok around the historic compound. They're civilians who are there to learn about Kim Jong-suk's achievements. They can participate in the tour only when they are clothed similarly to Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-suk. In the village, a movie about Kim Il-sung's fight against the Japanese colonial government is shown at a large theater. The theater seems out of proportion for a country-level village. Unlike the bare mountains in other places, the forests in Kim Jong-suk County are thick and green. Since this is a historically important place, the residents are told to preserve the trees and never cut them down, even if they're starving to death. The neat apartments along the Yalu River were built for propaganda purposes in Kim Jong-il's attempt to idolize his mother. But there's a seedy shanty town clustered right behind the village, illustrating the gap between the facade put up by the regime and North Korea's reality. In Sri Lanka, during the 3 decades of terrorism, anyone did not have the freedom engaging even in very important travels. The people were uncertain whether the members of their house who went out for very important matters will return safe or not. All these uncertainties, our obstacles, have vanished now, and people are free to travel at any time to anywhere without any hassle. Arcade Independence Square is another creation that has been added to the place for which people can visit at any time. The latest location that got added to the huge Colombo City beautification program is the Arcade Independence Square. The Sri Lankan Ministry of Defense and Urban Development had succeeded in renovating and presenting in a new form several archaic buildings that existed in this area. It has been a while this area was vested with the people. During this short period, it has become an attractive place for many people. There are many developments at this place for the enjoyment of children as well as adults and family members. The place consists of several shopping malls, restaurants, and a cinema theater. Food items can be purchased easily. There are sufficient parking areas as well. The Arcade Independence Square is another special place for attracting local and foreign visitors. Even the Sri Lankan resident overseas are commending about the clear change that has taken place in the city of Colombo.
I was actually really surprised. I didn't expect it to be so big. The shopping is great, the food is great, and the atmosphere is beautiful. It's as good as the first world.
Yeah, this is my first time to come here, so I just first to come here. Wow, it's amazing. It's totally different than in other places of Sri Lanka.
I'm from India. It's really lovely being here. Very pleasant, very peaceful. It's really amazing to be here with kids. They're enjoying so much.
It's really nice and beautiful.
I'm here with my little cousin, and she's really excited. She's pumped up, and we're thrilled. We're absolutely thrilled to be a part of this experience.
One of the 3 red pandas from southwest China's Fujian province made its public debut recently in Taiwan as fans of the small arboreal mammal native to the eastern Himalayas in southwestern China convened at the Taipei Zoo. The 3 mammals are Huan Huan, 7, and females Meiki, 6, and Yaya, 4. Bred by a panda research center in Fujian, were sent as gifts from the Strait of Fuzhou Panda World in Fujian to enhance cross-strait cooperation for wildlife breeding and for education purposes. Huan Huan's debut recently saw him greet the public earlier than the other 2 due to its stronger adaptability. Many parents along with their children were in attendance at the zoo. Accompanied by his parents, this young boy says the panda is quite cute. Its long tail looks so cute that he wants to touch it. The 3 red pandas moved into their new pen after passing a quarantine inspection. Zoo staff said the 2 female red pandas still need some time to adapt to the new environment and will meet the public at a later date. Wang Yimin, director of the Temperate Zone Division of the Taipei Zoo, says now they are in good condition and with good appetite and sound state of mind. But they must give the other 2 red pandas some time to adapt to the environment, so Yaya and Meiki will make their debuts very soon. Breeding for the red pandas will take place at the end of the year, according to zoo staff, having missed a window this year, but nevertheless, they will try. The mammals generally come into entrust a recurring period of sexual receptivity and fertility in many female mammals every March to April. Wang also said that Taipei Zoo originally had several red pandas. They hope the new ones could expand their brood and help the zoo better do their conservation work. Wang revealed there are 4 other red pandas from Japan and that the 3 red pandas arrived in Taipei on June. Classified as vulnerable by the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, the red pandas are threatened by illegal hunting and deforestation. The survival rate of captive-bred red pandas is around 50%, while the survival rate of captive-bred giant pandas is at least 80%, according to zoologists. Red pandas are endemic to the temperate forests of the Himalayas, ranging from Nepal in the west to coastal China in the east. A hospital in East China's Shandong province has become the country's first to experiment with 3D printing technology before a neck operation, according to reports. Mr. Liu, 57, started to suffer from neck problems again 2 months ago, although he had had surgery 26 years ago to fix the problem. Liu was therefore told to have surgery immediately despite the high level of risk. And in preparing the surgery, the doctors copied Liu's cervical spine using 3D printing technology. Ma Xiao, Deputy Director of the Spinal Surgery Department of the affiliated hospital of Qingdao University Medical College, said as it was the second procedure, they call it revision surgery. The operation would encounter many difficulties as the first procedure had destroyed the patient's normal anatomical structure and brought about scar formation on the operative region. It would be difficult and long operation with a high level of risk and might cause much bleeding. The operation was a success and Liu came out fighting fit. He is feeling good now and there are feelings in his arms and legs which were stiff and could not stretch them before the operation, but regained feeling after the operation and his legs can move now. A large skywalk on the edge of a cliff overlooking China's historic Jianmen Pass was opened to the public recently. Claimed to be the first in Asia and the second in the world, next only to the Grand Canyon, skywalk in the American state of Colorado, the glass viewing platform is built in the Jianmen Pass scenic area near the city of Guangyan, southwest China's Sichuan province. Built on a cliff face 200 meters above the ground at a cost of $3 million, it measured 59 meters long and 16 meters wide. It consists of a steel frame overlaid with multiple layers of high-strength glass, capable of accommodating up to 800 people at one time. The main structure has been completed. The whole project is at the stage of finishing touches. Wang Haibo, an official with the local construction bureau that undertook the project, said all construction materials have gone through proper inspection by the inspection center. The viewing platform has a wind resistance of up to magnitude 8 and stands a snow load of 5.2 tons. The entire platform can bear a compressive force up to 65 tons. This means that it can allow 800 people to walk on it at the same time, so safety is guaranteed. Jianmen is a natural mountain pass in Sichuan province renowned for its breathtaking views. It attracts thousands of tourists from around the world every year. In ancient times, the pass had a significant military value. It features prominently in classic Chinese novel The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Li Tingming, a visitor, said it is so thrilling. People in Kyoto got the chance to see a pilgrimage with a difference when a family of ducks made their annual trek from a temple's pond to the city's main river. The family of 9 ducks spends each spring at Wobuji, a temple in the center of Kyoto. Each year at this time, they make an 800-meter trek to the Komogawa River. The ducks set out early morning, and the mother guided her chicks through narrow alleyways and across busy streets. They reached the river safely after about 45 minutes. Hiroko Sumitomo, who looks after the ducks at Wobuji, said it's a little lonely without them, but she's relieved that they made it to the river safely. A sake expert from Fukushima Prefecture, northern Japan, is being credited with helping brewers there win the most top prizes at a national competition. About 30 rival makers came together to get advice from Kenji Suzuki, one of the first people in Japan designated as a sake researcher. He's been studying the brewing process for more than 2 decades. The makers decided to collaborate to help each other and to revitalize their prefecture, which has struggled following the accident at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant in 2011. They collectively took out the most gold awards at the national competition for the 2nd year running. The brewers spent 100 hours with Suzuki, who gave them tips about alcohol levels, ingredients and temperatures for preserving sake. Residents of Kyoto, Japan's ancient capital, paraded colorfully decorated floats through the streets, a highlight of the month-long Gion Summer Festival. The festival is associated with Kyoto's Yasaka Shrine and has a history of more than 1,100 years. The night before, residents and tourists gathered in downtown Kyoto to look at the 23 decorated floats for the parade lit up with lanterns. 23 floats took part in the procession. Began when a child wearing an ancient costume and riding the leading float cut a sacred rope stretched across a street. Participants pulled floats to the rhythms of traditional festival music performed by musicians on board. They laid bamboo sticks on the road in front of their floats to allow them to turn at street corners. The floats creaked and groaned as they took the 90-degree turns. A 30-year-old from neighboring Osaka Prefecture said she saw the parade for the first time and was impressed by its splendor. This year's festival featured 2 major parades for the first time in 50 years.